What is an arc? In geometry, an arc is any unbroken part of the circumference of a circle or other curved line. In AutoCAD, there are 10 different methods for drawing an arc. 3-point, start center end, start center angle, start center length, start end angle, start end direction, start end radius, center start end, center start angle, and center start length. There is one last one that they call continue, and that is just to continue an arc that you have already started. The best way to learn how to use each of these arcs is to hover over them and wait for the little tutorial window to pop up. The tutorial gives a detailed description of how the arc works, as well as an image that displays the clicking sequence and location of each click needed to produce the arc. After observing the tutorial, try them out on your own and get a feel for how they work. For the purpose of this video, I will demonstrate just 3 of them. Follow along with your own drawing. First, let's draw a start center end arc. In this example, I will use 2 vertical lines to establish reference points. Go ahead and draw 2 vertical lines of your own. Pause the video here if you need to. To start the arc tool, you can type the term arc into dynamic input, but type choices will be limited. I prefer to use the tool from the Draw panel. Click on the drop-down menu to reveal all 10 options, then click on the Start Center End Arc tool. I will click on the top end point of the right line to establish the start point of the arc. Then, I'll mouse over to the left line and click on its top end point to designate the center of the arc. From here, move the cursor off the center point and the line of the arc appears. Continue to move the cursor to set the size of the arc as desired. Now let's use a start end angle arc. Click on the start end angle arc from the arc drop-down menu. Choose the top end point of the right line to establish the start point of the arc. Mouse over to the top end point of the left line and click to establish the end point of the arc. Now just move the mouse and the arc will materialize. If you know the exact angle of the arc that you need, you can type it into the polar dynamic input. Move your mouse around and notice the angle changing inside of the polar input box. I'll set mine at 90 degrees. To get the angle, AutoCAD is measuring from the center point of the arc. Imagine that there is a complete circle and 3/4 of it is hidden. If you start the line tool, then hover over the arc, the center reference point will light up. Draw 2 lines from the center point to each end. Then place an angular dimension between the 2 lines, and you'll get 90 degrees. Last, we'll choose the center start length arc. In the arc drop-down, select the Center Start Length Arc tool. Establish the center point of the arc at the top end point of the left line by clicking on it. Then mouse to the end point of the right line and click to establish the start point of the arc. Move your mouse in any direction and the arc will materialize. The further you drag the mouse, the longer the straight line distance from the start point and end point of the arc will be. That's it for arcs. I encourage you to practice with these quite a bit before taking the certification test.